Welcome back to Sports Talk with Dad. As always, my name is Kyle, and I cannot call this Sports Talk with Dad without the man sitting next to me, a man so old he remembers when people on the radio talked like this. My dad, too.
I do. Wolfman Jack being the greatest announcer of all time.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Wolfman Jack is?
Why would I know who Wolfman Jack is?
He's the greatest radio announcer probably to ever live.
It sounds like what should have been the name of Marty McFly's character in Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, no.
That was Wolfman Jack.
Wolfman Jack actually broadcast from a bootleg station in Mexico. He was from Southern California, I think. But he was on American Graffiti. He had the raspy voice that all radio and DJs wanted to have back then. He was just a great announcer. He was awesome. Anybody my age.
Why did they call him Wolfman?
He had a beard.
Did he howl?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he did. Great show.
Wolfman Jack. Arr! Like that?
I'm sure he did. But
I'm asking you. You were around for it.
He was a great announcer. I couldn't pick him up here. I mean, it was a lot of Southwestern.
How far? This is actually a good question. Because it was a very different ball game in radio back in the 1890s when you were a kid. Because you had analog radio.
Yeah.
And like one station could reach anywhere.
If they had like a 50,000 watt radio station. There was one here we broadcast in the Milwaukee area. And I worked for one for a while called WISN. And they had to power down at night. But they were a 50,000 watt station during the day. But at night, their signal would travel up and over because it was a north-south antenna. We got notices from people in like Norway and Sweden because the signal traveled up, bounced over the North Pole, and down to the other side.
All right, then.
Because analog just follows whatever path of the ground is. And if there's nothing to stop it,
yeah,
it'll just keep on going.
Huh.
I used to be able to listen to at night KMOX in St. Louis.
So it traveled farther at night than it did during the day?
It did.
Why?
Don't know.
Okay.
Wish I could tell you.
Why do they have to power it down at night?
FCC rules. I don't know. But stations like WGN,
yeah,
I listened to in Florida at night. They didn't have to power down their.
Well, if you're in Chicago, you probably reach the entire country because you're right in the middle, right?
You won't reach it during the daytime because of the sun's interference and whatever. But at nighttime, I listen to WGN in the northern part of Florida.
That's crazy.
It's kind of unique.
That's crazy. You know what? That is almost a miracle. Speaking of miracle, 46 years to the day, the United States men's hockey team recaptures gold. And what a game it was.
That was insane. I loved every minute of it. It's a true story. The night of the original Miracle on Ice when the U.S. beat the USSR.
Yes.
It was a Friday night.
Not the gold medal game.
Not gold medal game. But that was on Sunday, and nobody went to church on Sunday. But that night, the USSR game, I was working at Mackey's Shoe Shop Friday night. That's what you do. And I would sneak downstairs for no reason at all, just thinking of, I have to dust shelves, I have to do whatever downstairs. And I had a radio that I could listen to the game live.
Yeah.
So I'm listening because the game wasn't on TV. It was tape delayed. But I'm listening to it, checking the highlights and whatever.
And Al Michaels is on the radio, right?
I don't remember.
TV broadcast.
He was the TV broadcast.
Okay,
I don't know who was on the radio.
So that's interesting because if you listening to the live broadcast, the "Do You Believe in Miracles" was not a part of it.
I didn't hear that. I think I watched it obviously on replay later and heard it, but that was Larry Mackey and Jerry.
Why was it on tape delay if it was in Lake Placid, New York?
TV at the time. I believe it was a tape delay. Maybe I just saw it on tape delay because I was working.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways,
You were there, not me.
I was working, and Larry Mackey
I was 9 years away from existence.
was very kind and let me sneak downstairs. He had to know what I was doing.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. And that game was insane because it was college kids playing against professionals.
Right.
These were the greatest professionals from every country coming together. And honestly, when I was watching the game Sunday, Canada played the better game.
No, I'm sick and tired of that
on.
stupid comment.
Hold on. Let me finish.
No, I know what you're going to say. It's dumb.
No, I'm not. They had twice as many shots on goals.
Yep.
They were more aggressive.
Yep.
What they didn't have was the better goaltender, which was the most important part.
Hellebuyck, man. Connor Hellebuyck. 41 saves. MVP of the entire Olympics.
Including
the Hockey Olympics.
Including the one stick save behind him where
he was pulling saves out of his ass.
Yeah, it was that shot should have went in.
I mean, there were at least 3 or 4 shots on a wide open goal where he just comes out of nowhere.
And I've heard Canadian players.
But the whole Canadian thing, because I know people that are Canadian, and saying, well, Canada played the better game. Clearly not, because you lost. It's a team game. And so clearly you didn't play the better game. And by the way, you had a 5-on-3 power play.
For a minute 33, by the way.
And the defense stopped you. The star of the game, besides, obviously, Connor Hellebuyck, the goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well call him Goldberg, the goalie.
Okay.
From Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I got it.
But you have Jack and Quinn Hughes. Jack Hughes, the golden goal after getting his teeth knocked out. And almost, by the way, he was the reason for that 5-on-3 Canada 5 US 3 because of a fight he got into.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to be the one to blame for this. Instead, gets his teeth completely knocked out, comes back into the game because hockey players are different breeds.
I was going to say, hockey players, every other sport should get down on their knees and go, I'm not worthy.
Every single NHL team has not only a dentist on staff, they have a dental chair in the locker room.
Well, he still hadn't had his teeth fixed when they left Milan.
Well, no, you're going to come back to the U.S. to get your teeth fixed.
He'll get them done. But, I mean,
Devils are ready to help him.
Only a hockey player would lose his 2 front teeth and just keep partying on.
Dude, there was a guy who played for the Lightning, and this is how I learned that every hockey team had a dentist chair. You know the first NHL team to keep a dentist on staff?
No.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Really?
Yep. And the reason I know this is because of this article. Guy from the Lightning gets a puck to the teeth and just explodes his mouth. You know how many games he missed?
Knowing hockey players, 1,
2.
2, okay.
And it was just because the swelling was too much for 2 days, and he was back. He got it fixed as time went on. But he'll get them fixed, and he'll be good to go. Hockey players are definitely a different breed. But
drank the beer and partied on. And
I mean, you have Jack, who scores the golden goal. Quinn was named the best defender.
Well, and his brother scored the overtime win goal against Sweden the game before.
Absolutely unbelievable.
And there was another set of brothers there, the Hughes brothers.
Yep.
So it was all in family.
Well, that is the Hughes brothers.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Brady.
Yes,
Chuck
I know who you're
the
talking
Chuck
about.
brothers.
Yes.
Sorry. The best part, though, for me, the whole thing was what they did to honor Johnny Goodrow. Johnny Hockey. Tragically killed by a drunk driver. He and his brother riding bikes. They brought out his jersey. They brought out his kids.
Yeah.
Make them part of the team photographed after the game.
Yep.
It was insane. I think they got his dad a gold medal.
They are getting his dad a gold medal. Yep. They basically, the story I heard was they will not accept the gold medal unless the dad gets a gold medal. Like he can just have mine.
Yeah. They were all like that.
That jersey was hanging up for every single game.
And Jack Hughes, after the game, they were, of course, interviewing him and whatever. And he goes, I'm so proud to be an American. We live in the greatest country in the world. We did this for all the people in America. It was awesome. It gave me chills watching the whole thing. They flew back, had to land in Miami because of the snowstorm up on the Northeast.
Yep.
And And after the game, they're partying and drinking beer, singing Toby Keith songs. It was awesome.
This is America as America gets.
It was
the America without the A. Women's hockey wins as well. Here's something I found absolutely amazing. One, you are a Badgers fan.
Yes, I am.
6 Badgers on USA playing. 4 former and current Badgers playing on the Canada team. 10 total Wisconsin Badgers. The head coach from Neenah, Wisconsin, which I just learned.
I didn't know that.
Here's the crazy thing. U.S. men win on the 46th anniversary of the 1980 Miracle on Ice. Not for the women's, right? They've won a couple.
Mm-hmm.
But the game-tying goal for the women's was scored by a woman who played at the University of Wisconsin. 1980 Miracle on Ice, the game-tying goal was scored by none other than
Mark Johnson,
who played
at the University of Wisconsin.
Game-winning goal in the women's gold medal round was scored by a lady who played at Boston College. Mike Eruzione, who scored the game-winning goal, not in overtime with 10 minutes to go,
right,
but he scored the golden goal, played
at Boston College.
Boston College. The goalie for the women's team grew up like 10 minutes from where Jim Craig grew up, the goalie of the 1980 Olympic team. I just thought that was cool.
The women's tournament was great as well, by the way. We beat Canada in both.
Yep.
So the only thing that was different, obviously in 1980, you had the Cold War full force.
You did.
So we were trying to beat the hated, evil.
And Canada didn't play in the
USSR.
Olympics at that time.
Right.
Not hockey, at least.
Not hockey at that time. But now, USA and Canada hockey teams don't like each other real well when they get on the ice together.
And it's because of the greatest all-star break of all time.
Exactly.
The Four Nations tournament is the greatest all-star, but they don't like each other.
And
it's a problem.
It's a beautiful problem because these guys play together all the time.
Yeah.
Connor Hellebuyck has to go back to Winnipeg.
Yep.
One of the Hughes brothers, one of the Hughes brothers plays for Winnipeg.
I know Jack plays for the Devils.
No, it's actually Brady Tkachuk plays for the Winnipeg Jets.
You know these names better than I do.
Plays for Ottawa. And he went from being one of the most beloved players to being public enemy number 1 in Ottawa right now. But
as he should be.
Hopefully they'll forgive him. In any case, the two teams don't like each other. They love each other when they're playing in the NHL. They're all buddies and everything.
It's a game.
If you get on the ice playing for national pride, there's no love lost.
Well, especially when Canada is Hockey Nation, right?
Yeah.
Canada invented hockey. USA has never been top-notch hockey, and that has completely changed. This is now a hockey country where we have some of the best players in the world coming from the United States, and not just Minnesota.
No.
They're coming from all over the country.
Jack Hughes is from Orlando.
Right. It is amazing what the United States has done with the youth hockey, what they've done to bring the sport to more people. And dude, Florida man on skates, come on. Who doesn't want to see that?
Look, I was never a hockey fan growing up because hockey wasn't around us. We had the Badgers, obviously, and they won a couple college NCAA championships, and that was great. But I never had real access to go out and skate and to become a hockey player. I've become such a huge hockey fan.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, my friend Spotto, was playing. He's older than I am, and he was out playing, broke 4 ribs, had pneumonia, probably punctured a lung, and he's still out there skating.
Isn't he like 65?
Yeah, he's older than I am. He might be 66, actually.
If he's older than you, he's got to be 900 something. But
yeah, but he's still skating, and I was going back and forth with it. And it's just, he's like, hockey's the greatest game ever. These hockey guys are the toughest. They are, in fact, the toughest athletes on the face of the planet. I mean, don't give me baseball catchers who are tougher than tough. But hockey players?
Well, it's a different game, man.
They lose chiclets, as they call it, for their front teeth. And just, grab a beer and
get back on the ice, man.
Hey, have another beer.
Bleeding stopped. You get back on the ice and you score the golden goal. Congratulations, USA hockey team. A lot of pride here in this country. And all the
Absolutely.
Canadian friends I have, I got to brag and say, hey, we're better at hockey. You guys can't win a Stanley Cup. Now you can't win a gold medal.
Cheat playing curling, which is just ridiculous.
Let's talk about that for a second. I know we have other stuff to talk about, but you brought it up. I got to pause it here. So, for those who don't know, Canada 100% cheated in curling. That's why the guy reacted the way that he did. But they have sensors on the top that can tell if you're holding on to it, and it goes red if you're holding on to it past the hog line.
And explain hog line. When you're sliding out with the curling rock,
There's a line.
You can only go so far.
And then you have to let go of the rock.
Right.
That line is called the hog line. Don't ask me why. It's just called the hog line.
It's curling.
And instead of holding on to the handle, the men's and women's, by the way, curling team pushed it forward more, which I don't know what that even does to you for you. Like, you've let it go at the speed you want. So my hometown, his hometown, it's one of the curling meccas of at least Wisconsin.
The Midwest for sure.
Midwest for sure. It's got a great youth program. And for us, it was mandatory gym class to go curling. We had to. Like, that was, you didn't have a choice. You had to go curling. And I just don't understand why you do that. Because that's a 40-pound rock.
43.
Whatever.
I don't know what pushing it forward with your finger does.
And, like, you already have the momentum. Like, I don't understand what, maybe it's extra spin or something, but they were clearly doing it.
And it was embarrassing for him to try to say he didn't.
For him to be called out and for him to react that way, that showed me you knew exactly what you were doing, because you don't react that way immediately unless you know you just got caught cheating. You were prepared to be caught cheating, and now you're reacting.
And curling is one of those sports. You go and you drink beer.
Drinking sport.
It's a drinking sport, but it's also based a lot on honesty. You're there. You're not going to cheat because that's not what it's all about.
Darts, man.
Okay, I was going to say golf as far as etiquette goes. You just don't cheat. Well, golf you do.
I was going to say, I watch you cheat every single time we play.
Yeah, but we don't play for score. So
no, we
it doesn't
don't.
matter. I've never played golf for score. I'm not that good.
You tee up every ball.
I pull it out of the rough. I'm there to have fun.
He literally sets up every single ball. I don't blame you for taking out the divots. I do that too.
Which, by the way, I think they're going to fix finally as a rule in golf.
They need to.
Anyways, but in any case, Canada completely got exposed as cheating at a sport they should never cheat at. I mean, it's just like, what are you doing, guys?
I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. They were clearly doing it.
Yeah.
We saw it. It was right there. The girls were punished for it.
The world saw it.
Right. Like, goofy stuff in a random sport.
But I love the Olympics. I mean, I love the bobsled. I love the luge. I love the skeleton. Those people are crazy, by the way.
Yeah. I showed the boys the skeleton, and I showed them how fast they were going.
Yeah.
My oldest was like, are you serious? I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they have to turn.
Yep. And they control with their feet or whatever they control.
Oh, they control with their core and their glutes.
Strong glutes.
Strong glutes.
But it was.
But, exactly, strong glutes. But.
Love the skiing. The whole Olympics, U.S. won more than they ever have at an overseas Olympics.
Second overall medals to Norway.
Which.
I think they're third in golds.
The guy from Norway has won now 11 Olympic medals in cross-country skiing. That's insane.
I mean, that's just what they do. They won all the ski and then shoot things medals.
Biathlon.
Is that what it is?
I think it's called that. Yeah.
I don't know. It was cool.
Yeah. I loved it. I love the Olympics every time they come around. The next time we get to go through this, we'll be in the U.S., in L.A., in 28.
Yep.
And then they go to Lillehammer in France before they come back to the U.S. for Salt Lake.
Is it supposed to be with an accent, or were you trying to do something there?
Lillehammer. It's just a nice little floaty word.
Not the way you say it.
Yeah, no.
That was rough. Enough of the Olympics. They're over. It's done.
I already missed them.
We don't need to talk about it anymore. It was 2 weeks. It was cool.
We're going to be talking about the hockey team for a long time. We tend to hang on to those things.
No more on this show. We're done. We have to move on.
Okay.
On to the NFL.
Must we?
A lot of things happening. Free agency coming. Kirk Cousins officially been told he's going to be released on March 11th. He will be back with the Falcons, mark my words, and will be week 1 starting quarterback with the Atlanta Falcons, mark my words. But the more interesting stories we have going on is with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the reason it's more interesting to me and to you is because we are Packer fans, and Mike McCarthy is now the head coach, and Aaron Rodgers is 100% coming back to be the starting quarterback for said Pittsburgh Steelers.
I love, and for all the people who say that McCarthy and Rodgers won't get along,
they're fine.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They've gotten past what happened a long, long time ago.
Yes, Rodgers is a reason McCarthy got fired, for sure.
Sure.
McCarthy is also a reason McCarthy got fired.
Absolutely.
There wasn't enough accountability. The penalties that season were stacking up insanely, which didn't happen in the McCarthy era. It was time. They shouldn't have fired in the middle of the season. That was stupid. But it was time. They knew it was time. He went on, won a bunch of games with Dallas. He's going to go to Pittsburgh, win a bunch of games with Pittsburgh. He needs to win now because you're going to have to rebuild that team. The question is what they do in the draft.
Well, they have to decide what they're going to do with Will Howard. Is he your quarterback of the future, or is he just done?
He's got the size. He's got the look. He's got the arm.
Unfortunately, he's got a bad college he comes from.
When it comes to quarterback track records, 100%. We got C.J. Stroud. He's good. Choked in a playoff game. Choked in a couple playoff games.
Yeah.
Still a really good player.
We'll see.
Well, I have hope.
Of course you do.
If you're going into the draft, though, this isn't a quarterback-heavy draft, but I think there are some later-round picks that can really make a difference. I do think only one quarterback is going in the first round, at least should. Somebody will reach. It happens all the time. We saw E.J. Manuel drafted in the first round. It happens. Ty Simpson's clearly out there. I don't believe Ty Simpson will be the second quarterback taken.
Okay. We obviously know Mendoza is going to be the number 1 pick.
It's done.
That's done already. Who's number 2?
The kid from LSU, Nussmeier.
I could see that.
He's a really good quarterback. He looked really good in the Senior Bowl. Has all the intangibles. Ended up playing for just a not great LSU team. I think he's going to spike up the boards.
I can see that. He's going to go to the combine. I don't know if he'll throw or not.
He'll throw. The only one that won't throw is Mendoza. Every other quarterback has to throw. Ty Simpson has to throw. Nussmeier has to throw.
Well, and then they'll move up the board because they all look great when they're in shorts and just throwing a ball.
They do. And then you got the kid from Miami who's 30 years old. He'll be coming out in the draft. What is he, like 26?
Something like that.
He's coming out because he doesn't have any other choice. His eligibility is over. You'll see, I think you'll see a couple in the second round, one in the third round, and it's just not a quarterback-heavy draft. But if you're the Steelers, you have to be looking. And
Sure.
if Nussmeier's there in the second round, you take him.
I don't know. I mean, Pittsburgh's got a lot of holes. They've got to rebuild.
They do.
I think they need a lot of defensive line help. They need some cornerback positions. Okay, not great. They need a offensive line help. There's a lot of holes that McCarthy will fill quickly.
Yeah.
But
it's all about the quarterback. He was literally signed by the Steelers because of what he can do with quarterbacks. Sure. Everywhere he's went, he has made the quarterback better. San Francisco, Alex Smith. Green Bay, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Dallas, Dak Prescott.
He'll work with Rodgers for a year, get as much as he can out of it. That'll be the end of that. Rodgers retires. And he'll have a year to work with Will Howard.
Yeah.
Kind of using the Packer program of quarterback development, which is never a bad idea.
It isn't. Here's my question for you. Who's going to reach? Who's going to see the quarterback and who's going to reach? You have Ty Simpson who's on the board. Let's just say that I don't think he is, but he's the one everybody's talking about. Let's say Ty Simpson is on the board. Who does he reach? Who reaches for him, I should say. Man,
Normally, I'd say the Raiders, but they've got their quarterback. Arizona would reach. It'll be Miami could reach.
Miami, listen, Quinn Ewers looked great.
He did.
Like, for the situation he was in, he looked really, really good. I said he should have been a much higher draft pick than he was. I thought he was that kind of talent at Texas, especially with somebody looking over his shoulder to perform the way that he did was extremely impressive. Barely losing to Ohio State.
Will the Jets reach?
No.
There'll be somebody out of the blue that you're going similar to when Atlanta drafted Penix. You'll go, what are they doing? But it'll be somebody so desperate to have that quarterback of the future. They think they can work with him, like Denver with Tim Tebow.
Well, that was just proof why Josh McDaniels should never be a head coach with that type of power.
Yeah, he's like Albus Dumbledore. Should never, he can run a certain part of the organization, but not the whole thing, not the whole wizarding world.
Yeah, I wouldn't compare Josh McDaniels to Albus Dumbledore. I think
he's an offensive coordinator genius. He is one of the best ever. He weaves his little magic, and their teams always do the great things. That's as much as I'm going to try to tie that all together. I'm just done. But
it'll be interesting to see because, I mean, you have
reach.
That's who I was just going to bring up. I think they need to sign Malik Willis. I think that is the guy who can change your team.
Well, it was clear last season they should have signed Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's why the GM got fired.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that that didn't happen, the fact that he was waiting to sign with Pittsburgh just in case Minnesota called.
He wanted to go to Minnesota.
That's where he wanted to go with Kevin O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin O'Connell, and he had conversations.
Would have been a perfect fit.
I think O'Connell wanted him really, really bad. I don't think he ever wanted J.J. McCarthy.
For obvious reasons.
Because Kevin O'Connell didn't get fired.
Right.
The GM got fired.
Mm-hmm.
And so who are you going to reach for in this draft, though?
There's nobody.
You need to win now.
To Minnesota's advantage, there's nobody to really reach. You've got to go and get a guy like Malik Willis who can step in and win a lot of games for you.
Right. Because, I mean, Kirk Cousins is out there, but again, he's going right back to Atlanta.
Yeah. And I don't think Minnesota wants that. Willis kind of he sat behind Jordan Love now for 2 years in the Green Bay system, and he's matured a lot. He's not the quarterback you saw in Tennessee.
Well, that was always the thing with him. He came from Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Was questioned of being a top 5 pick at one point because of all the skills he had, but knew he had to sit.
Right.
Ended up being a 3rd or 4th round pick. I think he was a 3rd round pick. He has all the skills. He has all the intangibles. Minnesota gets him. Jordan Love could become the 4th best quarterback in that division.
Very easily. Very easily.
Which brings me to my next point is...
We're going to talk about our team?
Well, here's the thing. Things have not been going the way we want them to go, right?
In Green Bay?
Yeah.
That's a little understatement.
Right. Somebody has to take the fall.
Yeah. LaFleur or Gutekunst?
No. Matt LaFleur or Jordan Love. The offense is not clicking the way it's supposed to. And we saw last year with Malik Willis, with him behind the center, that offense looked very, very different.
The last 2 years.
Yeah.
When Willis comes in, it's a more dynamic offense.
It was more of a running offense the first couple of games. They adjusted for that. But last year, he was throwing that ball all over the field.
Yeah. And they were accurate. And he had that offense moving.
So is it Matt LaFleur or is it Jordan Love that's a fault? Now, I do think it's Matt LaFleur's fault for blowing all the leads. That is head coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have your team ready to go. But late in games, we also don't see Jordan Love showing up either.
This is a huge year for Love. He's got to show up, and he's got to show up and show that he is the guy. There's no emotion there when he's on the field, and I know it's part of him. He's a reserved guy. No real huge highs, no real huge lows. But he's got to show some spark and demonstrate to the team that I'm the leader and I'm taking you down the field.
Not only I'm a leader, but that, hey, I can be consistent. Stop throwing off your damn back foot. Number one, you're not Aaron Rodgers. Knock it off. And have some composure, roll out, and keep looking down the field. Every once in a while he does. And he looks great. But then all of a sudden, he panics.
If they don't make the playoffs this year, which is a real distinct possibility, you're going to clean house. You'll have a new GM. You'll have a new head coach. And Love will have one more year, and that'll be it.
Yeah, and they're going to draft his replacement. I mean, this is where he needs – I mean, the thing is in those games, right? Because there's also a situation here. In those games that we lost the lead, the opposing defense shut down the run.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we're going to make Jordan Love beat us. And he hasn't.
No, and he should be able to. I mean, granted, he lost Tucker Kraft, which is his number one weapon. But he's got a lot of other weapons.
Well, and that's also, again, case towards Matt LaFleur, is you had Matthew Golden there that whole time.
That you didn't use, and in the playoff game, he caught everything thrown to him.
Yeah.
And he made plays beyond the catch every time he got the ball.
Yeah.
And yet they kept him out of games.
Yeah. All right, last question here.
All right, go ahead.
And this one's on baseball.
Sad.
2026.
Last year.
This is the last year we're going to see baseball for some time. Collective bargaining agreement runs out in December of 2026. The Major League Baseball Players Association head, whatever his title was, steps down because he would have been fired and he's possibly going to jail.
Yeah.
They have somebody from inside the system that stepped in as an intern basis, clearly going to be the face of this collective bargaining agreement.
Mm-hmm.
The owners
are dug in.
This is 94, right? The owners are dug in, and Rob Manfred is dug in on this too. He's tried to prep the players. Obviously, Bryce Harper famously cursed him out and kicked him out of the locker room when it was brought up with salary cap.
Look, we've talked about it on this show since almost day one. They have to have a salary floor before the players will talk about a salary cap.
Yeah.
And that floor should be a high floor.
Well, listen, the straw that broke the camel's back has happened. The Kyle Tucker deal by the Dodgers is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Here's the real issue with baseball. And I've said it. Guys like Bob Costas have said it. In football, revenue sharing is easy because all the money comes from national TV revenue. The local stuff is ancillary. In baseball,
in New York and LA, I wouldn't say it's ancillary, but not to the extent of the Yes Network with the Yankees.
It's not the same as baseball.
Right.
Baseball's flipped. Yeah, they've got national dollars, which are big, and they supply it. But the money that the Dodgers and the Yankees and some of the other big market teams is so huge that the Titanic, is flipped, and it's standing up in the air, going down.
Well, and the problem is you have the Mets owner and you have the Dodgers ownership that are willing to spend whatever they need to win.
Right. And at some point, there has to be an owner like the Mara family back in the day who famously said, we can't compete if the Packers can't compete.
Right. But you don't have a team like the Packers in baseball.
No.
You don't. And we also have an example of a Blue Jays team that should have beaten the Dodgers in the World Series. Had the guy run the base better,
sure,
the Dodgers don't win back-to-back.
True. Although their pitching was dominant, and
it was. You had Max Scherzer, who came back to life for a year.
Well, and you had the
couple of rookies come up, make a big
whatever
difference.
The Japanese, and his name escapes me right now, pitched full complete games. It showed the importance of pitching in baseball, and I hope the leaders of baseball took real notice. Those games were exciting because of the pitching, not because of the
that needs to change. You need pitchers to pitch and not throw. But it's going to come into this conversation. The owners are dug in. The players are dug in. Where's this money going? And I'm all for players saying, hey, We're the ones making this money. We need a bigger piece of the pie. At the same time, I want to watch a sport that's fun to watch. And what I also don't like seeing is I don't like seeing the Chicago Cubs sitting on the sideline with big free agents. They didn't this year. I don't agree with their signings, but they didn't this year. But you do have the Pirates sitting on the sideline. You have the Marlins sitting on the sideline. You have the Nationals sitting on the sideline.
The Rays historically had. By the way, the pitcher for the Dodgers was Yamamoto.
Thank you. But you got to get these teams. I mean, the fact that the Pittsburgh Pirates owner is cutting players at the end of the year in order to not pay incentives that these players have earned is the reason the 1919 Black Sox happened.
Correct. And that's got to be corrected. And, yeah, the commissioner is paid by the owners. He represents the owners. Would I like to see that change? Yes, I would. But at some point, the owners have to realize they can't play without the players. And they can't play in Los Angeles if they can't go to Milwaukee or Minneapolis.
But the players have to realize that you are now the fourth favorite sport in America.
Yeah. They've gone from being the national pastime, the absolute pinnacle of the mountain, to fourth.
Football's number one.
By a wide margin.
Basketball's been taking over.
Hockey is
on the rise, and I think will overtake basketball at some point. Because basketball gets obnoxious too. One, the draft is clearly rigged. And these changes they're talking about making where it's, well, we're going to give everybody the same odds in this lottery. Great. You're still going to rig the lottery.
You want to fix the draft? The best of the worst teams gets the number one pick.
Yes.
That's the end of it.
Bottom 14 teams, you're not in the playoffs. Get rid of this 10th and 9th nonsense. Make it the 8 seeds. The best team of the bottom 14 gets the number one overall pick, and then the worst record gets that. That would be great. Or just have the worst record and call it a day. But this lottery thing, from the minute it was created, when Patrick Ewing went to the New York Knicks with the frozen envelope.
I was so shocked.
I mean, look what just happened. The Mavericks trade Luka, and all of a sudden they have a 1% chance of getting the number one overall pick, and they get the number one overall pick to keep one of their biggest markets relevant. But yet, when there's not a huge star, that's when the Pistons or the Bucks or some of these other teams end up with the number one overall pick. It's a joke. It's completely rigged. You got to fix that. Hockey, on the other hand, their draft is cool. I'm not going to go into it now, but it's neat. It's a fun sport to watch. It's getting easier to watch on TV.
They've got the best all-star game.
They do.
With the 4 countries.
Baseball is falling behind. The pitch clock was great. Needed to happen.
Yes.
Sped up the game. You have to bring the pitchers back, but having a lockout is going to destroy the sport. And here's the thing. We're not playing baseball in 2027.
This is going to be a long lockout. This is not going to, for those who think they'll lock out in December and we'll be playing baseball by March, not happening.
No. One last thing. Speaking of baseball, I got to ask you this. The World Baseball Classic is here. It's during spring training.
Yeah.
So instead of being in spring training, the players are going to be playing in the World Baseball Classic. Now, spring training is still going on, which means the teams are filling their rosters with guys that from AA, from AAA, that normally wouldn't be getting these invites. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I've never been a big fan of the World Baseball Congress or whatever they call it. Classic. It'll be fun to watch. If the United States is in, it'll be cool. It's just, the Dominican is so dominant.
Well, they haven't been.
Or Korea.
It's been USA and Japan the last few times.
I know, but it's hard to get into because it is spring training. I don't know when they could schedule something like this. They can't really do what they did in hockey with the 4 countries.
Unless it was just a 1 loss and you're out race to the end tournament.
Perhaps. And could they do a 2-week shutdown and do a World Baseball Classic?
You could. It would shorten the season back to 154 games.
Yeah, which wouldn't be a bad thing.
I mean, you take 2 weeks for something like that.
At this point, baseball has to do some drastic changes I think one of the things they need to do is what we've talked about for years and years, 5 3-team divisions.
Yes.
It's time.
But they're going to expand. And then
Ugh.
what do you do? Expansion is coming. They're going to expand 2 more teams.
I know.
And by the way, okay, I lied. I have one last question, and then I promise I'm done. The Bears are moving to Indiana.
Yeah, we called that, 2.5, 3 years ago?
Almost 4.
Yeah.
Because it made perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. They're not going to Gary.
Nope, they're going to Hammond.
A little bit north of Gary. Still an area that needs to be revitalized.
You can literally walk across the street, and you're in Illinois.
Yeah.
It's Chicagoland.
Which means Indiana has 2 NFL teams very soon, and the state of Illinois has 0.
Yeah, Illinois is a very badly run fiscally.
Well, does this open the
state.
door to a new team
No.
moving to Chicago?
No.
Chicago had 2 teams at one point.
They did. The Cardinals were from Chicago, but no.
And the Bears.
Yep.
At one point, they shared a city, north side, south side.
Nope. Not going to happen. This is nothing more than the Giants moving to New Jersey and Jets moving to New Jersey. The Bears are getting a great deal from Indiana. Indiana stepped up and said, we want you here. We run our state government well.
Yep.
We'll pay for this.
Yep.
You pay us back, and then you'll pay $1 a year for rent.
Bears are not paying them back at all, by the way.
Illinois, well, the tax revenue that comes in from
Right.
the
You're
whole,
going to revitalize
right,
the area, bring
right,
in more
exactly.
businesses.
Illinois still hasn't paid for the Soldier Field renovation from 20 years ago.
They still $500 million.
They are an incredibly badly run financial state.
Yes.
The Bears it's not the Bears leaving. It's Illinois throwing up their hands and going, we can't handle this. Now, there's going to be a Hail Mary from Arlington Heights. They're going to
Cook County already screwed the pooch on that. That's not happening.
Mark my words. The state of Illinois is going to do a Hail Mary with the Arlington Heights site to try to save the Bears. If I'm the Bears, I'm going too little, too late. We're in Indiana.
The Bears are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which team? Because there is a team up for sale right now. And there is a thought that the new owner of the Seattle Seahawks could move the team, which I think is dumb. But they could move the team. Could they become the Chicago Seahawks?
No. The NFL will not let a second team go into Chicago.
Why?
Because it will doom the Bears at that point.
And that's what Chicago wants to do.
Of course. Now revenge is sweet, right? No.
It won't kill the Bears, number one. It won't. They're still Bears fans.
They are not going to allow another team in Chicago. They'll go to a new market where they can get a lot more money. And no, the Seahawks should never leave Seattle. Look what happened when the Supersonics left. They deserve that NBA team back there now.
They left Seattle, and now Oklahoma City is not only one of the best teams in the NBA, but they're one of the most profitable teams in the NBA.
Seattle deserves to have an NBA team.
I understand, but your argument is that moving from Seattle would be dumb, but yet the Supersonics moved to Oklahoma City and are one of the more profitable teams in the NBA and have one of the most loyal fan bases in the NBA.
They do. I'm just saying it just proves that the fans are never taken into consideration. Seattle was a great sports town. They were following the Supersonics.
Yeah.
They went to the games. It wasn't like there was empty arenas.
Right.
But it's all about the money.
They're making more money in Oklahoma
City.
About the
money.
Seahawks move to Chicago.
Never happening. That won't happen. I will buy you a box in Ohio State for a game if there's another team that's in Chicago.
You heard it. It's on film.
Yeah.
Could the Cardinals go home?
No. They're badly run, speaking of which. But no, they like Arizona. From the NFL standpoint, you got to find a new market that's big enough that'll bring in more money.
We got St. Louis, and they have no interest in going back to St. Louis. Could the Seahawks move to St. Louis?
They'd have to get a stadium put up.
Or, don't forget, St. Louis approved a stadium.
St. Louis is a great sports
Which
town.
proved that the whole thing was a lie by the owner, and he's moving to LA anyway. Could the Chargers move to Chicago?
No.
Why? Could the Raiders leave Las Vegas and go to Chicago?
No, I think the Raiders would leave and go back to Oakland before that would happen.
I'm just saying, there's not going to be a team in Chicago. The state of Illinois and the city of Chicago is pissed about that. There will be a Hail Mary. It's not going to work because they've already been taxing them out
of the
bum
yeah.
on this Arlington Heights piece of land that they bought. They're moving to Indiana.
They are. And it's a smart move. The financial deal they're getting from it.
So who's moving to Chicago?
Nobody.
And the Seahawks are up for sale. And the owners they have interested have talked about moving the team out of Seattle.
Not to Chicago.
Which means Chicago needs a team. Chicago's big enough they're the only major market in the United States to not have two teams. New York has two teams. LA has two teams.
They have two teams. They have two baseball teams. And the one on the south side is not doing very well.
Chicago, third largest market in the country, has one team. And now they have 0 teams.
Mm-hmm. Look in the mirror, Chicago.
Seattle Seahawks moving to Chicago.
No, not happening.
Just saying.
Not happening.
You and I has a great show, but as you all know, you cannot have a conversation with your father without your dad getting the last word. So it is all you.
It's going to be a quick last word. I just wanted to thank our friends at Dink Ninja. They sent us some towels for when we go and play pickleball again. It was nice of them to remember us and send us those things over because we are going to hit tennis balls again. I've gotten the clearance to do that. I can't hit a serve. I may try pickleball.
If you try pickleball, I disown you. Pickleball's a fun sport.
It's not an Olympic sport, though.
Yet.
Yet.
It will be.
It's not going to be in 28.
No. Flag football is, though. That's a conversation for a different day. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. This has been Sports Talk with Dad. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.